Hello guys! I've noticed that a lot of people are curious about the gacha system in ENDFIELD, so here I am to explain it to you. Keep in mind that this is from the beta test 2, so there may be changes at the official release, but at least you can have some infos about it. First of all, we have the character and weapon banners. And the weapon banner is a bit special respect to the gacha banners. Let's begin with the character banners. We have 3 different gacha banners for characters. We have the beginner banner, standard banner, and a character banner or retap banner. Before starting with each banner's rules, I'll tell you the base rules that applies for all banners. First of all, characters are divided into 4 stars, 5 stars, and 6 stars. Base drop rate for a 6 star is 0.8%, and after 65 pulls without getting a 6 star, each subsequent pull will increase a 5% this rate, and the guarantee is at the 80 pull for a 6 star to appear. For 5 star, the base rate is 80% and every 10 pulls is guaranteed. This will be resetted when you obtain the first 5 star. So, for the beginner banner, you use a special ticket obtainable from doing the chapter 1 of the main mission. Once you finish them, you can obtain up to 40 free pulls, which can be only used in this banner, in this beginner banner. And within 40 pulls, you're guaranteed to get a 6 star among these 5. And if you spend all 40 pulls, you will obtain a 6 star weapon selector, where you can choose one of these 5 weapons. As for the standard banner, there's no 40 pulls guarantee, like in the beginner banner, so it only has the rule of ADPT. When you obtain a 6 star, it will be random among all the available 6 stars from the standard banner, which in this case are those 5. There is a one-time selector you can use once you reach 300 pulls in the standard banner. And in the end, we have the retap banner. It has the same rule as the normal banner, but when you obtain a 6 star, there's a 50% chance to be the retap operator. Then there are some rules unique to this kind of banners. Let me tell you one by one. First of all, it's always a 50-50 when you get a 6 star operator, which means you can get multiple retap in row or fail to get them in row. The 80 pulse PT carries over the next banner. Then each of these retap banner has its own 120 PT guarantee, which means within 120 pulls you will obtain one retap character. If you obtain the retap character earlier than 120, this PT will disappear, or will be consumed. And this PT is limited to 1 time per retap banner. Pulls toward this type of PT doesn't carry over to the next retap banner, and then there's another 240 pulls PT. What does this mean? Basically, for every 240 pulls you do, the banner will give you a potential for the retap operator. So it doesn't matter how many retaps you obtain earlier, at the 240, 480, 720, 960, etc. pulls, it will give you a bonus potential as a special item. And this PT will not consume your other PT counts. And this PT is a separated one from the other 120 guarantee PT. So let's suppose you obtain the first retap at 120 pull from the guarantee. 120 pulls later, you will obtain a potential anyways. Or let's suppose you're lucky and obtain the retap at the first pull, then you will obtain the potential 239 pulls later. This 240 PT is also limited to the current banner. It's more like a guarantee feature for who aims to get more potentials for the retap operator. Then we got a special item, Headhunting Dossier. It's obtainable by pulling 60 times in the current retap banner. And on the next retap banner, this item will turn into a special 10 pull ticket, which can only be used in that banner, and will disappear once that banner ends. Then there's another rule, which is when the current retap banner finish, the retap operator will not be completely removed from the banners, but will remain as obtainable 6 star for the next 2 retap banners. So when you fail a 50-50, you can still obtain such operator for 2 consecutive retap banners. I know a lot of people would complain, asking why doesn't the 120 pulls guarantee carry over the next retap banner, but if you think about it, the cost for the guarantee retap is lower than other gacha games. It's just that you cannot do trial pulls anymore, like trying 10 or 20 pulls, hoping you can get the retap, but it requires you more resource management. This is well understood by Arknights players, as the gacha is very similar to that one. So what the game wants you to do is to save at least 120 pulls before going down the banner and pull, and not spending 10 pulls here, 10 pulls there, etc, etc. Well, these are the 3 main character banners. Let's talk about the weapon gacha system. For the weapon gacha system, it's very unique. When you pull for characters, you will obtain arsenal tickets. 2000 when you pull a 6-star operator, 200 for a 5-star, and 20 for a 4-star. And this is the Arsenal ticket shop. You can use those tickets to pull for weapons or spend them to buy some weapons as well. There are different banners featuring different signature weapons for certain character. And on the top side, you will find the signature weapon banner for the current retap operator. While below you can find the signature weapon banners for the standard banner 6-star operators. As I said before, you need a special currency, Arsenal tickets, to pull in those banners, or directly buy weapons. And from the shop, those purchasable weapons are all universal weapons, so they are not the signature weapons. Then you have the daily refresh shop with random 4-star and 5-star weapons, and a weekly refresh shop with a random 5-star and 6-star weapons. Well, let's take a look into the weapon banner now. In each banner you will have a featured retap weapon and 6 off-banner weapons. And typically they are all universal weapons, meaning they are not the signature weapons for 6-star operators. For each attempt in these banners, you need 1980 arsenal tickets, and you can only do 10 pulls, so there's no single pull. The base rate to obtain a 6-star weapon is pretty high, 4%, while 5-star is 15% and the rest 81 are for the 4-star weapons. When you obtain a 6-star weapon, there is a 25% chance to be retap, and 75% to be an off-banner weapon. If after 3 attempts, so 30 pulls, you haven't obtained a 6-star yet, the next attempt is guaranteed to have a 6-star weapon. So this is the soft PT for the weapon banner. You will obtain a guaranteed retap weapon within 8 attempts, so 80 pulls, and this PT only works 1 time per banner. Getting the 6-star retap weapon early will remove this PT as well. Starting from the 10th attempt, every 8 attempts will give you a bonus item, alternating between the retap weapon and a 6-star weapon selector, which you can choose one of the 6-star weapons between all the 6 off-banner weapons. So, at the 10th attempt, you will get the selector. 18th attempt will give you a retap weapon. Then is the 26 for the selector, 34 for a retap weapon, 42 for a selector, 50 for another retap weapon, and so on. Well, I guess I explained everything about the gacha system. My comment is, with this kind of banners, it requires you to have a very good resource management, and try to pull only if you have at least 120 pulls, to guarantee the retap operator. Because the try and run method will punish you, since the 120 PT doesn't carry over the next banner. Of course, if you want, you can always gamble on the 80 pulls PT. What I don't like is there are no other stable source to obtain arsenal tickets to pull for weapons. In the last beta test, there was a weekly game mode to obtain a good amount of arsenal tickets every week, but that game mode is removed in this beta test. I'm not sure if it's totally gone or if they are refining it for the official release. I hope for the second option. Anyways, that's all. Please be civil in the comment section if you want to discuss about this gacha system. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye!